They need to make a superhuman, and they need one now, without checking everything. This is for entertainment purposes only. This short story is only for people over the age of 18.
If I can help, I will,
she said quickly, stripping off her clothes, which no one told her to do, and going into the metal tube. I didn't care who went into the chamber, and this blonde cheerleader volunteered. We needed a superhuman, and we needed one, or 100 yesterday. Some strange attack wiped out the minds of most men and women on the planet, especially all superheroes that would have been an issue. Then alien invaders attacked. The chamber was experimental and could combine a person's DNA with those of a dozen superheroes. The safeguards were left out. Limits were pushed. The idea that someone with superhuman powers running amok was curtailed. Before we even finished the first stage of the superhuman tube, don't judge us, we're scientists, not comic book writers. We made sure one of the things installed in anyone in the tube was a mental interface would put the thoughts of how to use the powers right into anyone's mind. A flash, a scream, a hiss, and a thud were heard in the chamber. When we opened the tube, there she was with blonde hair, but everything else was changed. She stood with bulging muscles, high cheekbones, enhanced breasts, and a burning desire to fight. She flew off, still naked, and the war was won over the invaders in a few hours. Somewhere along the way she picked up a skin-tight black shirt, and leggings that were black with a red stripe down the side. Her speed was impossible to track. Her strength was off the charts. Energy blasts from her hands were like flares of the sun ripping through the invaders' ships. What ships that weren't destroyed fled as fast as their hyperdrive engines could go. There was a pause around the world, before the cheering of those with their free will intact started. The entranced men and women of the world slowly came around as our super blonde, again scientist not writer, came back to the lab. The head scientist, who I never liked, said he was pleased. He whispered something to Super Blonde, and she nodded stoically. The two of them went off to be in front of the media cameras. Later, Linda, the real name of Super Blonde, came into the lab in her clothes that had become her superhero costume. I was seeing how far past our safeguards and limits we reached, and none of them were in range. Linda, without a word, she picked me up and tossed me into the chamber. I was dazed and didn't understand what was going on. There was a flash and I felt white-hot pain, and then my brain shut off. I woke up feeling stronger and faster, but feeling some kind of mental block in my head. The chamber door opened, and the head scientist was there. He said something my mind didn't catch, but suddenly my entire focus was on obeying him.
Mind control part of the chamber hadn't been tested fully, and he was afraid you'd notice and take out.
He sneered.
It is just a modified way to implant how to control the powers to how to control the will.
Then he bent me over the lab bench next to the first superhuman.
You love this.
He said as I felt him behind me.
You love being fucked by your master.
Something leaked through the block in my mind, and it was the feeling of the love of sex. My husband used to make me feel that way, but that is gone now. I have no husband. I have no life. I am a tool meat for my master. I felt so blessed to be fucked by my master. He is spending his spare time and man seed on me. As strong as my muscles are now, being superhuman, my mind is weak and obedient to my master.
Kiss and make love to each other.
Master commanded, and I felt myself drawn to Linda. As our lips met, and our hands feel each other's muscular bodies, Master says,
So strong, and so feeble.
There's some kind of irony there that I helped save the world from invaders, to end up being an obedient superhuman sex toy. I'm a slave with the power of the sun, but the will of fog. As Linda and I explore each other's bodies and mouths, as Master uses me as he sees fit, I realize I wasn't conquered by aliens, but my master and I. Love this.
The end. This was a work of fiction. Any similarity between people, living or dead, is purely coincidence. This scenario did not, or should not, have happened in real life. Thank you for listening.